many small businesses are asking us, what are the kind of things that we need to look at over kind of December, January time. So we've been helping out in those areas. And I use some of that insight to then go into this webinar. So let's have a look at some seasonal insights and essentials. But first, I wanted to unleash an idea onto you guys, the audience, and I wanted to see what you think of this. Because this has been recommended by Google. So as you may know, we are a Google Premier partner, and we're also a Microsoft Elite partner. We're the only one in Yorkshire to have both. But as a Google Premier partner, you're part of this kind of 1% bracket. Of all of the partners in the UK, only I think it's maybe like 1% become a Google Premier partner. And with that, we get constant support and insights before many other people do. And one of the things they've been talking to us about is because what they're looking out for you guys. They're genuinely, I mean, the guys at Google are lovely people. So good at what they do. They're so passionate as well. I mean, we work quite closely, or we have worked quite closely with a lady who is in the King's Cross office. This Greek lady, she's absolutely brilliant. She's very intelligent, and she's, very passionate about helping small businesses. So I can really relate to her. And recently, we were speaking to Google, and they were saying about this brand partnership, and indeed they've been pushing this themselves. So what is brand partnerships? Well, it's the idea of you combining with another local business, and using and leveraging that partnership and that power to get more out of your marketing and to reach a wider audience. So I just want to focus the first couple of minutes on this. And it's something that Google recommends as well. And Google have spoken to a lot of businesses about this as well. Now, this is something that Google have come up with. They've done some research, but a recent study by Forrester, they are a big brand when it comes to business, the consumer world. But Forrester found that 49% of respondents reported a boost in revenue after undertaking partnership programming initiatives, while 45% saw an increase in brand awareness. So essentially what we're saying here is the idea of combining, partnering with a local business, another brand. Have you seen that? My question to the audience today, we're going in quite hard here and quite deep into this conversation, but we want to know if have you seen this locally in any local businesses near you, any brands that you are familiar with? Have they combined and partnered with anyone else? I have. I'm in a town, okay, it's just a typical English town, and I've seen it 2 or 3 times already. And so what I've seen is a food, I think it was hummus, sandwiches, and it was like a donut shop combining, basically. And then I saw a clothing brand combine with a health brand. And then I saw solicitors, just a standard local business combining with, I actually think it's an accountancy firm. So, when it comes to small business owners and things like that. So I'm seeing these partnerships spring up more and more. And the reason why this is a big thing now is because of obviously the pandemic and what we've been through. Let me just check back in on the, okay, everything looks good. So all I'm saying is, first of all, guys, is just consider reaching out to a business, a brand, a local brand, maybe, that you could potentially partnership with. And I just wanted to put that, idea out there because it's something we've seen. We have customers of our own that are doing this now. And essentially, and I've put it at the end here, it can boost your bottom line considerably and extend your reach. Now, if you can boost your bottom line, sales revenue, and extend your reach, well, it's a win-win. And we've seen this happen, and there's been no negatives. There's been no kind of cons to the, it's all about the pros. And, that partnership initiative is really powerful. So, what they do is they allow you to tap into a whole new segment of people. And this is why I'm so passionate about this and this idea. So many business owners struggle to tap into new audiences or target audiences, right? So you're looking for new business, you're looking for new clients, but how do you get yourself out there? How do you tap into new markets that you didn't consider before? So for InfoServe, we're very good at reaching out UK wide, but one thing we're not great at is being well known locally. We haven't really tapped into our local market at all, and there's a huge opportunity. Talking about a partner, we're one of the big partners in Yorkshire, for Google and Microsoft. So why don't we play on that more and tap into our? Well, it's incredibly difficult to actually find that audience and reach that audience. We just cannot. Well, we can, but we just haven't really put enough effort into reaching a local audience for us. So we're kind of more of a national business. But if we wanted to reach a local audience, we would consider partnering with a local company. And indeed, that's something that's on my radar, is how can we, InfoServe, maybe partner with someone locally? It could be anyone. It could be, it could be an accountant, for example, an accountancy firm. It could be an estate agent. A commercial estate agent. So for businesses that are looking to buy or rent premises, we could be there as the digital marketing help team. So this allows you to tap into a whole new market, a whole new segment. And at the very least, that tapping into that new market would take a significant marketing budget. So, for example, if we wanted to tap into a local market ourselves without any help, any partnerships, we would have to just plow money into PPC. We're going to have to put some money into local SEO, local PPC, general marketing, print marketing, radio, maybe even TV. We'd have to put quite a bit of marketing budget to one side to target that new market. Partnering with a company, you are tapping into them. They've already got a market. They may already have a target market, and they may already have a consumer base ready for you to target, if that makes sense. So you can use their market and their consumer base straight away. There's just 4 things. If you're thinking this could be something to think about, then 4 things I want to highlight to you that you probably should look out for. First of all, is make sure you do find, obviously, a good fit for your brand identity. We've talked about what brand identity is. Just get my drink. We talked about what brand identity is. It is, how is your brand represented online, offline? What is it? What are the core principles of your brand, the values? And I think I probably will do a webinar dedicated to this very soon, because I've had a few questions about branding and how, you can position yourself differently to other brands. Well, that's all about brand identity. So find a good fit. You make sure you're looking at the right business. Do they align with your goals and your values? So InfoServe, our goals, our principles and values are, we put the customer first. Everything we do is centered around the business owner, the customer. We will not stop until we deliver results. And if we aren't delivering results, we'll walk away. We'll say, look, we unfortunately, it's maybe not a good fit. So we want to make sure that we're working with someone that has the customer's needs and requirements, and they're finding the right solutions for that customer. That's first and foremost, because obviously, unfortunately, there are many businesses out there that say that that's what they want to do, but actually they're just looking out for themselves. We would want to partner with a company that has those kind of values and principles. So you probably have similar values and principles. Who could fit and who could work with your brand? Who could make a good fit? So yeah, it's finding that right business and right brand. Like I say, in the future, I will do a brand webinar all about brand identity, and we need to look at your goals, your principles, the values, and what your brand stands for. Those are the kind of things that you should be looking at. Does the collaboration make sense for your audience? Okay, so, what is the breakdown of their audience? Is there a crossover with your own customer base? And what added value would their product or service offer to your customers? These are some essential things that you should really consider when you're looking at a potential partnership. And so think about their audience. If there's two, you do want a bit of a crossover. Obviously, you don't want to be targeting exactly the same audience. The whole point of this is to reach new segments, but try and find a bit of a kind of common ground, obviously. And like I said, I see a lot of this happening in the food industry, in the food world, but now we're seeing it more in retail and kind of typical business owners, local businesses like solicitors, accountants, estate agents. So this can work for absolutely everyone and anyone. I'm trying to think of a few of the businesses that we have in these webinars. So for example, holiday accommodation, maybe you could be looking at combining with experience services. Maybe there's experience days that a local business does. Maybe you, as a holiday accommodation, could combine with those guys. Or you're an IT specialist. You fix computers, laptops, etc. Could you combine with I'm trying to think. A local shop that sells electronics. Electric goods. And is there some sort of combination there that you could find? Obviously, what this will do is unlock new marketing channels. This allows you to tap into that existing partner channel and extend your reach. And so, that's really one of the big benefits here. And make sure that you are measuring your success with that. So do set clear KPIs, key performance indicators. Consider what does success look like from in terms of return on investment, and how you will determine if this is a one-off partnership or an evergreen collaboration. So guys, this could be just a one-off thing that you do in the lead up to Christmas and just after Christmas. This doesn't have to be an ongoing collaboration. That's the kind of exciting thing about this. So I just think that's something for everyone to maybe think about. The purpose of this webinar is to often give you something that maybe just wasn't on the top of your mind, give you kind of food for thought, be a bit provocative sometimes, and maybe this is one of those things. So the first few minutes of this webinar, I just wanted to say that I am seeing a lot of success from this, professionally and personally. I see it locally in where I live. It's happening and it's working. Like I say, I went into the local, there's a clothes shop locally the other day, and I was talking to them, and they've combined with I think it's actually like a cycling shop. They have bicycles, and have a cafe within the shop, and then in that shop, the clothes shop is obviously selling their goods and vice versa. There's some kind of collaboration going on, but apparently it's working really well. So this clothes shop, and I won't name who it was, but in the local town, they were really struggling. A very, very nice clothes shop, independent, and they were struggling after the lockdown. So in August, they were thinking about closing the whole thing, and they found this partnership just literally on their same road. They were just speaking to a business down the road and say, hey, we might as well go into partnership and see what we can do. And they didn't have any of this information. They just did it, on the off chance that it might work. And apparently their turnover has just gone through the roof because of it. So the combination of two local businesses working together, I am personally seeing it working, and I've seen it with many of our customers and business owners. So a really good one, guys, and really something to consider there. So I'm going to go, and next I'm going to look at the Christmas side of things and a few interesting points as to what you should be looking at. Let me just exit screen sharing there. Okay. Adam, the advantage is sharing your audience. Absolutely. Sharing that audience is one of the main advantages here. So I do think that is something that's quite powerful when it comes to, partnering with a local business. If you can tap into their resource, tap into their audience and customer base, email marketing, think about that. If someone wanted to partner with InfoServe, and I'd be really open to that kind of prospect. I mean, we've got thousands, tens of thousands of obviously customer emails and emails from our database that we've had over been going 21 years. So we've got a rather big, so someone could tap into that, and if they wanted to, and likewise we could tap into there. And it doesn't have to cost a penny to partner with someone. So it's just some really powerful prospects to think about there. But moving swiftly on, we're coming up to obviously a very important part of the year, Christmas, December and January. And I just wanted to highlight some really key bits of information, insights. I suppose this is what these are called, insights, I guess. And this is in collaboration with Google. So it's been a while since we worked with Google on a webinar, and we are planning on something coming soon. I've been saying this for a long time, but getting someone from Google onto a webinar is incredibly difficult. Not only are they shy, but they've got many other partners that they work with. So it is difficult. But one thing I've collaborated with them on here is some of these insights. So this is straight from Google themselves. And they obviously have lots of data, and they know what people are doing online. Let's face it, they know exactly what everyone's doing, and the kind of trends. And what they're telling us is that a lot of people have already started their shopping or have completed it even, believe it or not. And so they've actually started it in July. And that is, and it's getting earlier and earlier each year. So people are doing things for Christmas, even earlier than ever before. So many consumers start thinking well ahead of the season. 22% consider their purchases 3 to 6 months before Christmas last season. So it's increasing. That early, the early bird shopping is getting earlier and earlier each year. 3 to 6 months. Now, many of you are businesses that don't have a product or a service that someone buys for Christmas. I get that. And I'm always really conscious of that. And I often see lots of agencies or Google or Microsoft, talking about this stuff all day in all of their webinars. Make sure you're there for the shopping, make sure your e-commerce store set up. Well, many local small businesses don't sell things for people that they're going to buy over Christmas time. And it's not really a Christmas kind of product or service. However, even I've said in previous webinars, even if you're a solicitor again, or an accountant, or an IT consultant, or an estate agent, many of these things, many of these trends leak into your world as well. They fall into what you're doing as well, and you need to consider these kind of trends and these insights, because it still does have an impact on local businesses that aren't selling for Christmas and services and products for Christmas. Because the reason why I'm highlighting these things is it's all about being there early. It's all about getting ahead of your competition. And that's one of the most crucial things, about getting ahead of the competition, whether you are a solicitor or an estate agent, and so on and so on. 61% of UK shoppers say the pandemic will affect how they shop this year. Now, this does apply, like I say, to lots of different businesses, not just ones that are selling Christmas goods and products. Because we're all affected by this. We're all affected by this pandemic in different ways. And seasonality plays a big part in all different types of businesses. So what I would say is, if there's a way at all that you can get a shop set up on your website, then do it. If you can sell or book things through your website online, obviously, then try and do it if you can, because people are changing the way that they deal with local businesses and businesses in general. Fewer people are on the high street. Fewer people are going down to shops or into offices. So you already have lost a segment of your market, because they just don't want to see you face to face, see your team face to face, because of maybe the fears that they have with the whole COVID situation, or the fact that many new people that were going out, so many of those people that were going out visiting you in person, have changed the way that they behave because of the pandemic. What the pandemic has done, it's not a nice word to use it, but what this whole situation has done for us is change the behavior of people that we wouldn't have expected to have changed their behavior. So even, for example, I look at my mother, who's obviously, she's in her 70s, and she would never shop online or, look at websites for local businesses. She's she can certainly use an estate agent or solicitor or accountant. She's savvy enough to do that, but she would prefer to have gone to a business herself, like many people in that age segment. So, for example, 50 and over. What the pandemic's done is almost forced those people to use the internet differently, to embrace the internet. And they've realized how easy it is. If it's not video calling or screen sharing, it's actually shopping and using businesses. So many more people that weren't doing it before are now using the internet and actually prefer to use websites to use a local business. And so this trend is here to stay, and I'm saying that you should try and embrace e-commerce if you can. Even if your product or service is not really the type of thing that you can sell online. So Ben, I think Ben's in here. Ben's working at Sparta Security, I believe. Ben, consider, and I'm just using you as an example, consider e-commerce for what you guys do. Yes, booking online, booking time slots, getting it all done without having to pick up the phone, because fewer people are picking up the phone. And so you need to embrace online booking, e-commerce, even with a security service, or like I say, a solicitor, or it's just that trend that we need to start considering. So e-commerce, if everyone can do that. Now, if you've got a website with InfoServe, you can actually upgrade to e-commerce very easily. You can sell up to 100 products or services, or digital product. You can actually get people to buy online off your website. They're not buying something physical. It's just buying a time slot, buying something digital, buying a PDF, even whatever it is. So you're buying a consultant with, in your business, or some kind of, like I say, a time slot booking. You can do that on InfoServe websites, and you can add up to 100 products. And I'm not pitching here. I'm just saying how easy it is. You can do that for just £10 more a month. So if you upgrade your monthly fee by £10, then you get this e-commerce unlocked, and you can just use it to your heart's content. So that's just how easy it is to do e-commerce. It can be done today, and you can add 10 services on there within a couple of hours, and then you can start taking bookings. But it's just working with that new audience. Obviously, you can see the thing on the screen here. 73% of UK shoppers are open to purchasing from retailers they haven't bought from before. Essentially, what this is saying, and this is really brand new insights from Google, guys. This is like really cutting edge, brand new stuff that Google have shared with us. What that's saying is that people are not as loyal as what they used to be, and this trend is increasing. So that's almost we're almost getting to as high as it can be at 73%. People are open to looking at different retailers. So be careful of that one, because it's all right saying this statistic in Insight, and one thing is, I watch many webinars, and they often just say these things and then, right, let's move on. What does it actually mean to the small business owner? What can a small business owner do about this? It's all right telling you this, but what can you actually do about it? Well, it does tie back to design. It ties back to the look of your website, the identity, how visually striking it is. I can't stress enough how important it is to have a really well-designed website. Good design is so rare. It's unbelievably hard to find good design. Many people out there say they build websites. Many companies that do website design, but I've only met really less than 5 talented designers in my lifetime. Less than 5. I very rarely come across a very good, striking website, a website that I think is excellent. It's quite hard to find good design. It's almost like, I'd like art. It's like architecture. It's like, I don't know, fashion. We find it hard to find, if you're into fashion, right, you maybe find it hard to find the right top, trousers, dress, shoes, it's quite rare, isn't it? But when you do find something you like, I love it, and can I get that for Christmas? Well, it's similar to web design. It's very hard to find a good designer be really conscious of that. Many people can build websites, but not many people can design websites. And so this, if your website looks good, if it's easy to use, easy to navigate, easy to purchase, then you're onto a winner, and people won't leave. 86% of in-store purchases were researched online, and this is kind of reflecting now more to those smaller local businesses. People are becoming more inclined to support smaller local businesses, and that's, this insight says a lot to that. So in your marketing, as a small business owner, in your marketing, are you actually asking people to support your small local business? Because I would be doing that, not every day, not every week, maybe 10% of all of my posts on social media would mention that I'm a small local business, but make sure you're kind of leveraging this behavior, this change in attitude. More people are supporting local small because they recognize the need to do that. We're all more aware of how businesses are struggling. And so even though you may not sell online, or you may think your website's not that important, more people are now researching online before they go into your office or shop or retail, or before they take the car to your garage, or before they look into using you as an estate agent, and so on and so on. So this affects every small business owner. Okay, so I'll let you have a quick look at that graphic, and this is for homemaking and interior decor. And this is these are trends. These are basically new Google trends that have just been released. Now, if you're in this vertical, if you're in this industry, then this is obviously probably not going to come as a surprise to you. But if you're closely related to the whole, living world, the home and garden, and if you're in that kind of space, then this is something I just wanted to highlight, that the search interest for homemaking interior decor, look at the difference to last year. So the line at the top is this year, the line at the bottom is last year. So you can see there's a huge increase in searches for this kind of stuff. And it's the same for gardening. If you look at the line at the top is 2020 and the line at the bottom is 2019. And so, it may be that you're close to this kind of, you might want to go into this vertical a little bit further if you're quite close to this vertical or this industry, or you can tap into this market, but certainly be ready for that kind of search traffic. It's just really interesting to see this sort of stuff. But I think this will be interesting to many of you. Okay, so I just want to look at the top left graphic. The Google search interest for live chat service in the UK has increased massively. Look at that increase in search volume on the top left graphic there. And what that's showing you is an increase over the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years actually. We're looking at there. So goes from 2015. You might not be able to see the numbers there, but the start of that graph is in 2015, and now we're looking at 2020, and it's increasing still. It's still increasing. So live chat, I've mentioned it before in webinars, and if you haven't got live chat on your website, get live chat, and just Google it. If you want to add a live chat widget to your website, just Google live chat and for website, and you'll find something. But essential in 2020 to have a live chat widget on your website. Now, I can't think of many businesses that shouldn't have live chat. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Live chat is really annoying when it pops up, when you go on a website and it comes up with all this chatting and, hey, how can we help you? You don't have to enable that. You can just have the little bubble at the bottom right. You don't have to have it pop up with all these kind of chats that come up. So that's within the settings. So if you go onto a website and it comes up with like, hey, how can I help? My name is Jessica. I'm a virtual assistant and all that. I get annoyed by that as well. And I'm surprised that so many websites have it set up that way. You don't have to set it up so it comes up automatically. You can actually change how long you want to wait until one of these messages, so you could have it so it comes up after 2 minutes or not at all, but you'll always have that bubble. So if someone wants to contact you, they click on the bubble and the live chat appears. I personally prefer that, where it's just the bubble, or if you can have some kind of discrete message saying, hey, we can help, we're here to help, and then it just disappears. Maybe that would be better than having all the spam come up. But yeah, live chat, just wanted to highlight that in today's webinar and make that a kind of sort of important point to consider when it comes to seasonal, coming up to Christmas. More and more people are going to need you and want you via live chat. You can see some of the trends on here. Some of these are not relevant to many of you, but some of you watching on recording will find these quite relevant. You can see that people are actually searching more and more for, at the top right there, virtual try-on. It's fashion, obviously, and things like that. But if we just look at the bottom left graph, next day delivery is peaking as well in the UK. So if you are selling goods and products online on your website, next day delivery is really important to consumers. So please bear that in mind. Next day delivery is something that people are actually searching for on Google. So that is what is important to people. So if you can offer next day delivery, then you're on to a winner. And if you are going to look at online e-commerce, then consider that. Now, obviously, the final thing at the bottom right is app. And I wanted to highlight how popular searches for apps are becoming in the UK. So more and more people are preferring to use an app than the actual website. Now, if you're a plumber or a pest control, or I'm trying to think of, kind of typically one-man bands, you don't really need to worry about having an app for your website. But if you're holiday accommodation, or if you're an estate agent again, or maybe even a solicitor, because there's so much information on solicitor websites, there's many different businesses where you could consider having an app for your business. And apps are on the increase. And I remember Apple saying the same a couple of years ago. They said that the future is apps. And at the time, I was skeptical of that. But now I find myself using apps more than ever before. So especially for retail, apps are pretty much essential for retail. But for hospitality, they're becoming even more important. For travel as well, essential for travel. I can't stress that enough. But even the smaller local businesses now are getting some benefits from having an app. The only thing about apps is they can be quite expensive to develop. So if you are looking at an app, maybe drop us a message and we'll point you in the right direction. Okay, I won't see you next Wednesday yet. That was just a prompt for me to jump back to the webinar. So I'm going to jump back to the webinar now live and see if anyone wants me to check any or answer any questions. But if that was all good for you and you have to go, then obviously we'll see you next Wednesday. But we've still got a bit of time left. So I'm just going to try and answer a few questions. If anyone wants me to check their website, please do just drop your website link into the chat here. But we should be getting wrapped up on today's probably in about 5-10 minutes, because we want to try and keep these under an hour, because many of you are really tight for time. So I understand that completely. It's a busy world managing a business. So Sarah's asking. If you get live chat, do you always need to be there? That's a good question, Sarah. First of all, no, you don't have to be there. With live chat, you can have a virtual assistant. So many of them, what they do now, in fact, I'll go on to one as I speak and I'll share my screen. What many of them do is have a virtual assistant. And these live chat, there you go, they've got one at the bottom right of their website, obviously. These live chat functions are really intelligent now. And I wanted to say to you guys that Microsoft told us this 3, maybe 4 years ago, that bots, so chat bots, the intelligence levels of the AI basically of chatbots is unbelievable. It's becoming, it's almost lifelike, and they were demonstrating it to us at the time. The technology it hasn't been released yet, but it's certainly coming. And these chatbots can be very intelligent now. And the days of talking to a chatbot, an artificial one, and getting stupid answers, those days have gone. They've come on leaps and bounds. And so, yeah, you will have a live chatbot, and there you go. There's one here basically that's come up, and if I was to ask them a message, I think it would be a virtual assistant. There we go. Chatbots generate leads. The help. It's AI. It's all artificial intelligence, and it is incredibly impressive. I have to say, you can set the questions up. You can even set this all up when you put live chat on there. You can actually set what types of questions you want the bot to answer, and so on and so on. So you don't need to be there all the time. No, that's why live chat is so good. Is because consumers want to speak to want to have some reaction pretty quickly. If I'm looking at a local business and want to speak to someone at that business. You're hoping for a reply pretty quickly. More and more people are shopping at night, absolutely random hours. So a chatbot, the reason why it's so beneficial is because it almost gives the impression that you're there, you're reactive, you care, you're at the top of your game, and you're answering questions quickly as possible. And then Sarah asks, you'd rather it be a real person, but interested to see what you suggest. Yeah, I do recommend a chatbot, and all of these chats now have virtual assistants using that AI technology. I was skeptical as well, Sarah. Thinking about the past, I think maybe even I was stuck in the past a little bit as well. When I was hearing Microsoft and Google talk about AI technology, I said, yeah, come on, we all know what it's like. It was terrible, wasn't it? But actually, it is really impressive. And I'm going to try and find another example. But yeah, it's come on a long way. And whilst I search for something else, feel free to drop your website URL into the chat. I found what I wanted to find. So let me just pull it up on my screen a second, guys. So I just wanted to show you just on Sarah's question with AI. Let me just get rid of this ad. There we go. So let's. Okay, so this is a demonstration of Google's new technology, and this is where AI has become. This is where it's got to, and we're seeing some of this technology in live chat. And I just wanted to demonstrate this. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm assuming that you can probably hear this through my speaker, but if not, you'll get the kind of gist of it. Let's just play it a little bit more. So he's talking about local businesses, calling a plumber, hairdresser. So let's just fast forward to the bit where he does it. He's talking about AI. So this is a real life example. And Google is calling the hair salon. So this is the bot talking, and that's the human talking. Google Assistant going, mm-hmm. So watch how the assistant, the AI, is reacting to the human on the right-hand side. The human is asking a question, and this is a computer that's answering that question live over the phone, trying to book a hair appointment. Okay, just mute. You can see what is happening there in terms of that's just a demonstration of how powerful AI is becoming. And yeah, and here's another quick example to leave you with, because I know this is good fun. The Google's on the left. Watch how awkward it gets. I think it's a Chinese restaurant. So what happened there was a little bit of a hiccup with the restaurant. The person was trying to book the table, and she was getting confused by he wanted to book up to 7, I think, and they can only book up to 5. But the AI technology actually reacted to that and understood what she was saying as well, which I struggled to hear every word. And oh, there's no audio. That's sorry, but you can hopefully see on screen what was happening. To find that, in fact, guys, what I'll do is I'll just give you the link so you can watch that in your own time. I'll pop the link in the chat there so you can watch that afterwards. Okay, yeah. So I think, yeah, Sarah, hopefully that answers your question, and it just gives you a bit of an insight into how these live chats have evolved. And don't fear them, embrace it, use it. But yeah, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to call that a day, because we've, 45 minutes seems like a really good time for the webinar. And I'd like to just move on and go next week. We've got some really more good insights and help coming your way when it comes to your website. And so we're just building that at the moment. So we've got some really in-depth insights to come on how you can have the layout correctly optimized for come new year, because in the new year, people are going to be looking at your business because people are catching up on some of the admin that they've put off for the last few months, and they've got a bit more time to research. So there's some really interesting things coming up. We'll catch you next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thank you for your time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this one. There's a couple of insights in there that you've maybe taken away. But see you next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you. Bye.